from here no noise should go there.
Yes, ma'am.
That was the topic. Let's suppose our side. So you are not under control. I don't want to hear that word. Sit properly. Listen. What was our topic? We were discussing about
immediate cause. Ma'am, you were on that dancing.
Dancing province was in between. So Hitler claimed that majority of German population is residing in his dancing province. So he wanted to occupy that. Clear? What was his intention? Why he attacked Poland? In order to get back to dancing corridor. Okay. So majority of the population of Germany was living in that province. By the time we have seen, before going the non-aggression pact, with Russia. तो रशिया पोलैंड का मदद के लिए नहीं आने का, तो और जर्मनी के साथ अटैक भी नहीं करने का, इसके लिए नॉन अग्रेशन पैक्ट भी बनाया. समझ में आ गया? नेक्स्ट वन इज दैट on 1st September, this is what is the beginning. 1st September 1939, he marched to Poland. Okay. Now that was the beginning of the Second World War. September 1939 में Second World War शुरू हो गया. Then अभी हमारा जो दोस्त लोग हैं, who Britain and France. Britain and France gave ultimatum. हाँ, वो ultimatum ही देते हैं ना. Ultimatum दे दिया जर्मनी को. Gave ultimatum to Germany. Okay, जर्मनी को ultimatum दे दिया. Then on September 3, France declared war on Germany. Now, you see that 1st September he marched to Poland, and Hitler marched to Poland. Then Britain and France gave ultimatum to Germany.
And France declared war on
3rd September declared. But during that time, Hitler continued his. He did not mind what is going on. So he conquered Poland. Then he conquered the nearby territories and he came up to France. France का पेरिस तक 20 किलोमीटर अवे पेरिस तक कॉन्कर किया. वन साइडेड वॉर. पोलैंड कॉन्कर किया, फिर वो सेंट्रल पार्ट का छोटा छोटा रीजन्स कॉन्कर करके पेरिस तक पहुंच गया. तो that is what that is between 1939 सितंबर से लेके 1940 अप्रैल तक there was no actual war. Okay, there was no actual war, only declaration of war. So this period is called phony war. Phone पे बात हो गया ना. Hello, I declare false.
My fault.
I was just telling that is what in spite of the declaration of war, there was no actual war. Because here we have seen France and Britain declared war on Germany, but Germany alone was doing war. So only one-sided war. No, it conquered the places it like.
मैम एक सेकंड जर्मनी फ्रांस के अंदर आ गया और फ्रांस ने उससे पहले जर्मनी को वॉर डिक्लेयर कर दिया
डिक्लेयर करती है कुछ
तो
नहीं
एक तो फ्रांस इस तरह से ले रहा है जर्मनी उस तरफ से
नहीं वो नीचे की तरफ से वो कैपिटल गया ना सो इट इज जस्ट अ डिक्लेरेशन इन ऑर्डर टू डराने के लिए
अच्छा तो फ्रांस ने बस बोला कि उसने डिक्लेयर किया फ्रांस ने कुछ किया नहीं
नहीं किया
सिर्फ फ्रांस का टेरिटरी गया
वो जो टेरिटरी के अंदर जर्मनी में अटैक करके आ गया तो हेल्पलेस हो गया क्या करने का
अच्छा तो लाइक फ्रांस पे जब अटैक हुआ तब उसने कुछ एक्शन नहीं लिया जस्ट वो बड़ी बड़ी बातें कर रहा था ताकि हम वॉर डिक्लेयर कर देंगे
ओके नाउ दिस वाज द बिगिनिंग ऑफ सेकंड वर्ल्ड वॉर ओके नाउ we are so that was the middle now front of that war so 1939 September से लेके 1940 April तक there was no actual war but afterwards means busy war that means that period was called a battle of blitzkrieg that means lightning war lightning की तरफ war होते हैं that is what the period from 1940 April
it lasted for
it lasted till 1945 means many places were conquered and war fully
destroyed.
good morning हम लोग को war See, it is not a matter of eating food or like that. There was a kind of continuous war. That much. Continuous means each and every country turned against every other country. That is why two groups were there. One is that Allied powers
And Axis powers.
and Axis powers. So, Allied powers, one side, which were the countries of the Allied powers?
Russia, Britain, France, Britain, and
USA. USA is going to join.
USA.
USA.
Axis
Britain
powers.
also, Soviet Union alone at that time was facing Germany. Okay.
Then
Now-
Axis powers is Italy, Germany,
Germany.
and Japan.
Now the most important event which we are going to see is Pearl Harbor attack. This Pearl Harbor is an island in Hawaii. So this Pearl Harbor is known for the naval station of USA. What is that?
Naval station of
USA.
Hawaii.
Hawaii. See, Hawaii is the 50th state of USA. USA का 50 states है, तो 50वां state है Hawaii. Okay. So the main that station, that is naval station of USA situated. The more than 2,000 warships, these all things were there. So Japan attacked Pearl Harbor on 7th December 1941.
वो वहाँ पे कैसे पहुँचे?
It is in Pacific.
अच्छा सॉरी मैं भूल गया वो राउंड है इसलिए इस तरफ से भी आ सकते हो.
It is in Pacific. Pacific Island. So what happened? It attacked Hawaii, no, Pearl Harbor. Pearl Harbor is the harbor where that warships are anchored. That is the American state naval station. Now, Pearl Harbor triggered that big development in the East. Till that time, only Japan one-sided conquering the Far East Asian countries and all. We see involved in that area. But now,
immediate cause वाला point खत्म हो गया ना?
that is what Pearl Harbor is point.
मैंने वो उसी के अंदर लिखा है.
Okay. Okay. Pearl Harbor is next. Pearl Harbor. So, but which day it happened? 7th December 1941. 8th December 1941, USA declared.
We don't know if it was war. The statement is not yet completed.
So, USA declared war on
Japan.
When it declared war, it was really war only. America entered into that Second World War. Now, when it attacked that Pearl Harbor, two blunders Japan committed. Two blunders. Hello? Sector 1. अभी नहीं है क्या है? अभी घर पे है, बेटा है घर पे. दे सकते हैं? बेटा तो दे सकता Okay, two blunders it committed. What was that first blunder? That blunder or mistake we can say that they did not destroy the ship repairing
Station. Oh, हाँ, smart move था.
repairing facilities. Okay. One. Ship repairing facilities they did not damage. Second one is that they did not destroy US carriers.
वो भी very good.
See, two mistakes that if Japan did not commit,
they would have successfully taken over.
Yes, the vast tide would have been in a different way.
Ma'am, but why did US take 4 years to nuke Japan?
First, you listen. So then, what happened? USA declared war on Japan. So within no time, it get an opportunity to repair all its ships back.
Yeah.
Human loss was the ships destroyed, but it could get a time to repair ships. And the carriers were also not that destroyed.
So it gave
because USA could easily revive from the losses.
And they could easily what do you say?
Got it?
Okay.
So USA joined that war in 1941,
One.
8th December. So the war is now between two groups.
क्या चालू है
I already told not to laugh and talk. We have to complete also. If we are able to complete means we could see. But if it is delayed, it's not my problem. Now the next important developments. The war continued for that is 6 years, 1939 to 1945. And we know that what happened. So other things I will tell fully in brief. What was the development? The war spread in all the areas. See, now imagine Germany is in the middle. It had to send its forces to all the directions.
Yeah, because it's landlocked.
Not landlocked, that is, it wanted to conquer and occupy because Nazi dictatorship was there. So it was having that conquering and defeating, killing that the Jews and all these activities were there. So German army spread over. So after that Poland conquered, then Germany made another mistake. That was German forces entered into Soviet Union.
Oh.
Germany thought that it's a matter of few days or few weeks only. Because I have told you, Soviet Union was not interfering in that world matters. So Hitler underestimated the condition. Secondly, in Russia at that time, there was severe winter. And the forces were not prepared for a winter.
Yeah.
So he sent his forces, all the commanders and all 90,000 forces, that army men he sent. And they went to Russia through Czechoslovakia and entered directly. So on its way, no opposition was there.
But then once they got inside the trap,
so directly it entered up to the capital. There he had to face a big opposition. That is, the common people also took arms against. This preparation was an underestimation of Hitler. Hitler thought that few weeks में खत्म करके दूसरा side में जाएगा. Because it's like that एक जगह का हो गया दूसरे जगह जाने का, like that he planned everything. But the resistance was unimaginable. But first they defeated them and pushed them back to Berlin. Means all the maximum commanders were lost. All the important commanders they lost, and the rest of them were brought back to.
They lost that they weren't able to find their way.
No, killed.
Achha, they were killed.
They were killed, and the rest were forced back. So on the way, the regions were evacuated. Means they were freed. So in the real sense, Russia was the winner.
Yeah.
Russia only defeated. By the time in France, there was the northern part, Normandy coast. The combined forces of US, Britain and France brought a large number of military, and then they attacked Germany from eastern side. Sorry, western side. Sorry, western side they attacked, and from the eastern side Russia made that German army to come back to Berlin. So from the eastern side, they pushed the German army. So from all the sides, they had to face defeat and
retreat.
May that 8th, they surrendered and Hitler committed suicide.
Ma'am, that was one day after his marriage.
Wait, Hitler committed suicide.
Hitler committed suicide.
Actually,
next day,
I was killed by
Okay, so on 8th May 1945, the end of Germany happened. Now only already long back Italy surrendered. Italy was not interested in that because it was afraid of that being the partner of Germany. So it moved out of that Axis powers and it was no more in that group. Only Japan was.
So it was only Japan and Germany in their access powers.
Japan was there in the eastern area. That time only you have asked about it, that is Myanmar and all. It entered up to Kohima, that is not the eastern border. So anyhow, it was a matter of few days only, or maximum few months. But what America did, it dropped atom bombs on 6th August 1945 at Hiroshima and 9th August 1945 at Nagasaki.
So 3 days.
Average temperature.
So that's why that place is the most radioactive place.
We have seen that day. So that destruction was caused.
Ma'am, do you know after like 2 days after the bombs were dropped, there were people walking around whose skins had melted off and like they were just running around.
That day it was that I think I only students we have seen.
Ma'am, can I show?
2 more parts
It
are
will be too gory.
not boring, another
No, not boring, gory.
Anything
G or Y.
omitted?
What?
I don't think so.
God blood.
Once again,
But take them,
moving on Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
उसका footage.
Attack of
Yeah.
see, events of the war.
I must know the incident. Not there.
That part is not the
Full
This
I
one,
mean, the actions
up to
of-
nahi, Battle of Berlin.
Even from the satellite,
But-
it was powered.
No, but it is included in that Axis powers, so that is defeat of
And
Axis
the,
powers briefly.
And this was the satellite footage of the.
Also the full of footage is
Huh?
this whole thing is
See, it is that one.
It could.
एक
What
महीने
is
मना
being
कर
seen
दिया
on the
तो
screen.
इस
What was
Defeat of just on the
पता है
to
ना
here.
testing was a fake, right?
This one.
नहीं टेस्टिंग वाज क्या एक्चुअली आयरन मैन को बदला लेना था वर्ल्ड वॉर 2 से अच्छा अपॉर्चुनिटी
World War.
World War
Yes. Now listen. What you were asking something you were asking. What you were asking.
I'm saying that this was the satellite footage. You can this can be seen it from the space also. It is so destructive.
It is so destructive that we don't have a clear picture of that. How many satellites were launched?
No, that time were very less satellites, but
That was also, I am not sure that 1945 satellite was there.
I mean, it was even like there were like some chemical salts which were
They were
revealing
there.
the problem of the children who are.
Yes, now
So
also,
shockwave for
now
the
also
Earth
the
cannot
children taking birth in that place is
No,
having
Right there at the
difficult.
surface.
Now you listen the consequences we are going to. Consequences of the Second World War means what happened after the Second World War.
peace.
Powers, formation of the UN, Cold War.
See, the first phase, we know that the League of Nations failed.
Yeah.
So, in order to replace that one organization had to be formed.
UN.
That organization is called the Formation of UNO. United Nations Organization. Because you are having that UNO two lessons.
Ma'am, the United Nations was formed because
Main
of
organ-
the,
main
because of the fear
organization.
of World War III, which could potentially destroy the world and leave it inhabitable.
Okay. They are part of UN.
Yeah.
yeah, India is the part of UN.
Of course, yeah.
पहले नहीं था अभी था अभी
अरे हमें वीटो पावर से किया गया था वो
हाँ।
बोला
पर चाइना ने रिजेक्ट किया ना
चाइना ने नहीं किया, नेहरू ने किया.
चाइना
Right.
Allow me to talk.
Okay.
Veto power was used by
Please. See, from this much and this much, if you are telling, then it is not able to make you to understand also, and you are not understanding properly. So first, let me tell what is this organization, and in your textbook also, UN related 2 lessons you have to study. So regarding this lesson, the formation of UNO, why it was formed, that much only to be studied. Okay. So what is UNO? We know that League of Nations failed. So during the war itself, that is when Second World War was going on, that time itself, there was an attempt to form an organization which will avert future wars. 1941 onwards, in different places, the leaders of the countries were meeting to prepare an organization which could avert a war and to make a peace. So it was not taken place all of a sudden. Whatever were the shortcomings of the League of Nations have to be sorted out. Every problem to be sorted out, and then a proper organization have to be formed.
So that उसका जो नया बनेगा, that won't cause more problems, that will solve all the problems. that will
So
exist.
because we know that the Second World War had taken place within 20 years after the First World War, so means it was not an effective organ. So whatever are the shortcomings, it has to be corrected. So that is why 1941 onwards the attempt was made. And it was culminated in the form of an organization called the United Nations Organization, which was formed on 24th October 1945. This is 24th October is considered as the UN Day. Okay, United Nations Organization Day is 24th October, 4th. Then it was formed at San Francisco.
There was one meeting that was held there, and 5 countries को ये दिया था main power.
See, before that there was a conference in Yalta. Before that the many conferences were held, and it was finalized on that day. The main countries who participate in preparing that one chapter,
USA,
UK, USA,
Russia.
France, Russia,
Russia,
China.
China,
कहा था
No.
एक में बोला था.
So that is in the next chapter.
what is there? Say, no, at that time, you have to understand 1945, China was not a full-fledged country also.
China was having its civil war.
It was having various problems. But the thing is that China was made a permanent member of the Security Council. India was a very developed and other ways also independent country. India was not given permanent membership. That we will see later on. We will have small discussion on that. But here, 3 persons only were part of that discussion. One is that the USA, as you all know, that Franklin Delano Roosevelt, F.D. Roosevelt, and Winston Churchill, and the third one is Stalin, Joseph Stalin. Russia का so premier means prime minister. Okay, so 3 persons who were there.
Joseph Stalin.
Roosevelt, Churchill, and Stalin.
Roosevelt, Churchill, and Stalin. Okay, now these 3 leaders were the main leaders who prepared that charter, because many countries participated in that conferences, but the finalization was done by these 3 countries. There were some reasons also we will discuss. So that way, United Nations was formed. Okay. So formation of UNO, you understood?
Yes.
So who are they? F.D. Roosevelt,
Joseph Stalin. And W. Churchill.
Winston Churchill,
Now, what's the full form of FD?
Franklin Delano Roosevelt. No, he got 3 terms as President of America. He was the only person who got 3 terms. Because one is just because that war was going on, but still he was admired by the people. But after that, immediately he died. Obama 2 terms. So that also not that way popular. That F.D. Roosevelt was very popular. See, he had some physical problems. He was like that deformity he was having. But from there he worked hard and rose to the top position. And it was during that time the country was reeling under that Great Depression. And because of his effort, that Great Depression, they could survive.
Now what is communication? What is communication?
Communication.
अरे बॉम्बे को हिरोशिमा and Nagasaki. We are in the next page.
I know, I'm just reading this.
Why are you reading that?
Read afterwards. In between,
When you are-
ask.
When the supposition is that we don't read.
I would have given time to read, but let me complete first because next one is called war. So that is I told no from that Russia say उधर push करके लेके आया then from all the side Normandy coast that combined forces.
And how did Korean, Tokyo and Italy have Italy?
Italy already. But
Acha,
I
acha.
was telling you this.
Acha, at least
That is why I am telling you don't discuss in between. Attend that time. So sequentially I am telling. I am not telling on the basis of word by word. So all the events I am telling. So what happened at this Winston Churchill, that Stalin and Roosevelt finalized that one, and on 24th October 1945, UNO was formed. Now the next important development is Cold War. What is Cold War?
It was an information war between the KGB and the CIA.
It is defined as an atmosphere where there is no armed struggle.
Actually, it was not a war, but a war-like situation. So, what is that? Not
Not a war, but a warlike situation.
Only one number two.
see, there was no actual war, but a war-like situation. This created tension, suspicion, etc. Only I am writing. Now you imagine why the world was divided into two power blocks.
Aries and Axis.
No. Capitalist.
And socialist.
This was capitalist was Western capitalist bloc and socialist.
And capitalism started in Europe but spread to the US, and then the US was promoting it. Meanwhile, Europe took in the socialism because they realized capitalism was forming a economical drift in the different classes of the country, and it was causing a lot of mayhem in the city blocks, which caused many families to
What is me?
live. Which caused many families to live in dumps and which formed many slums, which is why Europe finally decided on adopting the socialist stance and tried to spread it to the world.
See here. See
Socialism
what the European countries feared was that their country should not get the influence of communism and socialism. But that only happened. Understood? Socialism spread to European countries. Actually, East European countries it is spread much.
Yeah.
Yugoslavia and all that East European countries, it is spread much. From the slowly it is spread to that West European countries also. Because we know that it is a movement against the capitalists. Capitalists who are the owners of that factories or industries or that investments, they were interested in making profit.
Ma'am, it was basically capitalists. What they did was they had private properties through which they could benefit financially, personally. But socialists believed that if there was a factory or something that was using the world's resources, then all the profit that comes should be equally divided between the people, which would result in a gradual but equal growth in wealth throughout the world. Meanwhile, capitalists believed in the fact that only the people who own the businesses should be able to get the profits that come from it. And it depends on the people who decide to run the businesses if they want to share the money or not.
Okay.
Socialist means basically government control, capitalist means free. Anybody can do anything they want.
Okay, you just attend to it. That is in a factory. That owner is capitalist.
Yeah.
Who owns the business because he invests in that.
Yeah.
What is his aim is to make a profit. Okay, and the people who work in that factory are
getting
called
paid
workers.
salaries.
Workers.
Yeah.
Now, during that medieval period and all, when the industries were set up, what they used to do, so much they tortured that workers. The working condition of the workers were very bad.
Yeah.
That is, they had to stand and work for the whole day. Working hours were so much, so long working hours, and they were not given that facilities of safe drinking water or like that. Now they started a movement against that. That is how they formed trade unions and labor
Yeah,
organizations.
labor unions.
So now they started telling, in the long run, they started telling that if we work, then only you get a profit.
Yeah.
So we should have the right to get a share of the profit. So from that demand only this working class emerged as a great force. It also started in Russia, Russian Revolution time. Then it spread to other parts. We know that Labor Day, International Labor Day was celebrated on 1st May.
Yeah, May Day.
So this May Day, International Laborers Day, this is for the rights of the people when the people fought. Yes, tell me.
Yes, ma'am. So basically, when they formed the union now, that time all there were all protests and they were like, we won't work. And the UN saw this on a large scale. It was happening that time. So the UN saw this and they implemented it in all countries. Like they asked all the countries that had signed the peace treaty that you should implement these laws and you should make the working conditions at least this much, which was the like basic criteria set for workers. That
And
is
so
why
basically what happens that they used to work non-stop, but when they saw that the laborers were protesting against it, so they had reduced it to 8 hours per day. Yeah, 8 hours.
This all later changes you are doing. It did not happen all of a sudden. It happened in due course. So much protests were there. When the people protested, they were thrown out. Thrown out in the sense means they were removed from that work. Then more people came to protest against asking them to take them back. So this way, continuously there were protests, there were movements, and finally only it happened. So it did not happen in one day. Then afterwards also, now also many places that the working conditions are not better. The what is that the workers are not getting their due, means how much they are working accordingly, they are not getting the payment, and at the same time written down something, but practically they are not following. So it is happening now also, but the movement they have started at that time had impact in the world, and world all over this movements came into play. So this was two group. One is capitalist bloc and then socialist bloc. Now the countries who are interested in capitalism joined that capitalist bloc. Then the countries who are having the interest towards socialism join that. So world is divided into two ideologies. That is not only ideologies, they were also joining for protection purpose. You see that from eastern part, this one, Pakistan, our neighbor, joined this bloc, capitalist bloc. So it is also for defense purpose. It is also for ideological unity, and thirdly, it is also that that area-wise support. Now, what is the problem? The countries started making their own separate alliances also. You might have heard about NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Like that, different alliances also.
Because in NATO only this Ukraine and Russia war is there.
Now also. So here Soviet Union, another alliance was made, Warsaw Pact. Now, after making these alliances, they started making armaments. We know that during the Second World War, only America was having nuclear weapons. So the nuclear weapons, that is bombs, they used. What was the name of that? Little boy,
Little boy.
fat man. Little boy and
Both
fat
of them
man.
are different.
Yes. In that, the destructive power, it is Hiroshima, little boy in Hiroshima and
And
fat
fat
man.
boy,
ये बॉम्ब का नाम था.
The little boy and
But the names are not like weird also. It's
They are.
not weird, but why? That time, there was no such bombs. No.
ma'am, it was they named them like this because at the time of their creation now, there were rumors that the KGB had infiltrated the US government this communication channel, and information was being leaked through them. So they used code names like this in many other cases also, so that the information could not be like perceived easily.
See, in military, that ideology or military that way, they are always using codes which others cannot understand. That is why that if it is check that little boy, if it is told that the little boy is maybe a child, means in order to that is divert the attention also they give that.
Like in India का जो हम लोग ने वो क्या मूवी का कौन सा नाम था? हाँ परमाणु, that was India's code name for bomb.
That nuclear है ना?
Yes, before that, they have tested also.
Parmanu means atom.
Rajasthan.
मानव ही नहीं बना।
No, that India का और राजस्थान में ये
Yeah.
test किया था, but the that America का वो जो test
They tried.
हाँ.
They saw that our capacity is increasing.
So then it was told the man who made it told that the US authorities not to use it against mankind because it is so destructive and one humankind can be completely eradicated. So not to use it. And secondly, it was also warned that not to use against Japan because Japanese aggression will continue only a matter of few months maximum. Because Germany already surrendered. So that without any help, if all the European countries targeted against Japan,
There was no need to use the bomb.
need to use. There is no need. But they have to use it. Okay. Now, what they did, what all are the purposes? They ideologically they were different. Second is that different organization, that is groups were formed for defense purpose and all. Thirdly, they also started a race for armaments competition. That is, when these two blocks were there, America was having that nuclear bomb.
Yeah.
So within no time, Russia prepared another bomb.
And to prevent all countries from having this, which would actually cause a lot of destruction due to small reasons if they couldn't handle the power. That's why after I think some 6 or 7 countries they just said, okay, that's enough, no one else can make it.
So they made some kind. They were making no. Say another
Because
that
China
is-
ने बना लिया था
Ah,
Instead, see that is why they have included China in the UNO.
because they made it.
So that way they wanted to
ah.
group those countries within the shield only, because otherwise it can use against another country how much power they are having. So they wanted to include China.
Yeah, so basically all countries with that nuclear power are forbidden to fight ever.
But we are
Even India is having.
India afterwards only they started making. But what happened? You have to study about the non-aligned movement also. So you see here that armament race. So now what is the condition? We दुश्मन लोग हैं. So what is the nature? That is, we are suspicious of each other. So America रशिया को सस्पेक्ट करता है, उसके पास क्या होगा अभी? रशिया अमेरिका को सस्पेक्ट करता है, क्या है? तो दोनों ये सस्पिशन की वजह से बहुत सारे वेपन्स बनाना शुरू किया. Now this is a warlike situation. Any moment war can break out.
Yeah, it was like if even one wrong step is taken, the war will start.
So that warlike situation is termed as
Cold War.
Cold War.
Because the situation turned
Because so many countries were grouped under that Western Bloc and so many countries were grouped under that Eastern Bloc.
If a war took place, it would be Third World War.
So it was not like that earlier condition, because each and every country was having nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
Now America, when Pakistan joined with American bloc, Pakistan was supplied with enormous weapons.
Yes.
And aim was
By
that
China.
used against
India.
India.
Yeah.
But
So it was given by China.
but they got bankrupt.
नहीं रुकिया by US.
But they got bankrupt.
Now only.
Now only. they got
But
back.
China supplied
Because खाने के लिए
too much.
So Pakistan earlier purchased. So lot of weapons it purchased.
from US.
Then US. But what happened in between? Then 2011, when that attack on this thing, World Trade Union and all happened, that Osama bin Laden was given shelter by Pakistan.
Yeah.
Even though he was in Afghanistan side, Pakistan only gave her that all the support.
That's why they cut ties. With
So they realized that what India was telling is correct, not to trust on this Pakistan. Otherwise, if Pakistan was not giving support, this threat was not there. Because slowly and steadily, all the enemies were killed by America.
Yeah.
Everyone. So Gaddafi was killed.
Pakistan.
Every enemies were removed. So now that the target was on Osama bin Laden only, but that his whereabout was not known, but Pakistan was giving support. So it stopped. Now Pakistan was getting from China
China.
because China wanted to avoid India. That is, as a India is an opposition this thing for China. So that is why this kind of weapon, that is amassing of weapon, is a real threat to the world. And we have heard about that Israel.
Yeah.
Yeah, Israel.
Israel is a very small country, and the United Nations organization declared it as an independent country in 1948.
But people, the other countries will to capture it around it.
Yeah.
See, what is that when Israel people, that is who were scattered all over the world, they were not having any space to go.
Yeah.
So that particular part they have gone, Jerusalem and all, Palestine and all. So that is claimed by Arabs, the holy place of Arabs, Jews
And
and
Christians.
Christianity.
So it's called the Holy Land.
Holy land. But
The place was
Holy War.
holy land.
Israel.
Israel. So that particular Jerusalem is the holy land of Palestine. That means Palestinian Arabs and Christians
Abrahamic
and
religion.
so then what they did, because they are so intelligent people, powerful people, when they enter, they kicked out the Palestinians.
Yeah.
So that is why after that, for continuous years, up to 2000, that is 15 tak, there was war between Palestinians and Israelites.
But we supported Israel. That is why they supply us with weapons, high quality ones.
Now, see, actually, what happened? They were the intelligent people. They what happened during the Cold War time? Russians they have used Scud missile. So then America was having another missile.
Yeah.
Then these two were just hitting only. But Patriot was sent by Israel. It damaged both the missiles. So then America started supporting that Israel only. Otherwise also you just see that the last moment also America supported that Israel's claim only. So now it came to somewhat an end because they realized that there is no meaning in continuing that fight. They agreed that the holy place, the Bethlehem and all. So visiting time they have allowed, or synagogue that going and visiting that particular time they have allowed. So that way some agreement they have reached and that war is averted. So our point of discussion is that this is a kind of dangerous situation, war-like situation. Anytime the war will break out.
Yeah.
And it ended with that is I have told you Soviet Union. Soviet Union broke up in 1980s. That means after 86. That means I am giving that 80s.
Yeah.
Soviet Union broke up. After the breakup of Soviet Union, this Cold War situation also ended. There was one more situation at that time. You have heard about West Germany and East Germany.
Yes.
So, Germany was divided into two parts after Second World War. West Germany and East Germany. And here a wall was made that is called the Berlin Wall to separate that East Germany from West Germany. Berlin Wall.
Yeah, why is the Berlin Wall?
Wall,
yeah.
Separate East and West Germany. Understood? So this one, after the breaking up of the Soviet Union, this also have broken, and now only one Germany is there, and that Germany's capital is Berlin.
Yes.
These all developments have taken place at the same time only. Understood? So one is that
But Russia tried to create the Soviet Union again, right? The capturing close by areas.
say no. What happened when it broke up? It was not just like that. They have introduced then Prime Minister. He introduced ideas like glasnost and perestroika, two ideologies. Those who are wishing to express their opinion freely can express. So accordingly, what happened that the 15 countries or 15 big states, they have separated. They told that is we want to move away from that Soviet Union. So okay, so that three Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, they separated. Then one more was also separated. So 11 states formed together into CIS, Commonwealth of Independent States. So for a long time, in Olympics and other world events, they were participating like that only. CIS, that is Commonwealth of Independent States. Means they have joined together.
That was recently you saw that Russia attacked
Ukraine.
Ukraine because they wanted to create Soviet Union again.
And even because of NATO.
Now even
NATO.
that was another
They
way.
wanted that to
See,
fight with
if you wanted earlier, people themselves only express their opinion and broken up. Now it wanted to establish that one very powerful this thing because
Why
what they
Russia?
realized that America is not having that much power. When this thing, Trump was that president, he was having so much power.
Trump.
But after
Trump, after Trump now that one
Joe Biden.
and even they don't have any
who
power.
They don't have
everything.
Because their economy is gone, everything is gone.
Why? This person is not having any business.
No,
Like
they
a
create
Trump-
bad effects. A lot of bad effects and a lot of
Donald Trump was better.
When they had friends. He
Ma'am,
was made by
because-
Indian Prime Minister.
Ma'am, even when Donald Trump and was there, then India had a very good relation with America. But when Joe Biden came, so that somewhere relation
Election came, he went sacked.
So actually, that Donald Trump was having a big business establishment. So his relation with other countries also that with that business, he was having calculative. And Joe Biden, now he lost his memory also. He cannot take any decisions also. That's the condition. American president.
Yes.
Alzheimer's.
Alzheimer's.
उसको first level में पढ़ता है.
But who भूल जाते थे.
So,
Biden.
They will एक काम करूँगा ना होगा बंदे.
but that is why America went down. Nobody is there to take that firm decisions. And daily basis in America that because of that poverty like situation, unemployment and all, every day that shooting spree is there. That is school में भी करने के आके so means yes. Why? Why? Because there is no one to make a peace.
Yeah.
So that America's status when it is down,
Yeah.
then US
Actually,
are
what
happy.
happened was US and UK are falling at the right same time. दोनों के पास power नहीं है.
हाँ.
Now the other countries are trying to make sure
Yeah.
that they don't come into power of it.
Yeah, because
Boris Johnson is the current president of London, right?
नहीं, more Indian.
अभी क्या?
अभी Indian elected.
Indian है. ऋषि सुनक.
See, it's Indian. It's Indian.
ऋषि सुनक.
Oh, हाँ.
UK में Indian है. वो लोग उसके लिए बचेंगे थोड़ा सा.
हाँ.
Okay.
We'll get that
Yes, listen. So that West Germany and East Germany that united, and that was also another development at that time. Then 1989 in China there was a big revolution. That is, the people come on the streets and then revolted. That
Yeah. People's Government of China.
So that was also happened.
Ma'am, but
Then Hong Kong was occupied by China. Now that Hong Kong was
Was a separate country.
free.
मैम बट जब से चाइना का गवर्नमेंट फॉर्म हुआ था तब से हर 50 इयर्स में पीपल्स रिपब्लिक ऑफ चाइना बनता है, देन वो वापस एक साथ आ जाते हैं, फिर वापस स्प्लिट होता है.
No, that's 1989 का वो जो
नहीं वो लार्ज स्केल पे था, बट उसका हर 50 इयर्स में होते रहते हैं.
Okay, all these developments marked the end of Cold
Second
War.
World War. Cold War.
हाँ, अभी देखो ये सोवियत यूनियन ब्रेकअप हो गया, then West Germany and East Germany united हो गया, then in China that revolution हो गया.
हाँ, तो जितने भी प्रोटैगनिस्ट थे वो सब खत्म.
हांगकांग का फ्रीडम हो गया. ये सब डेवलपमेंट्स होने के बाद this Cold War ended because tension is not there. अपना country, अपना development. That is why that period is very important in the history of the world. Okay, who will do the video?
हाँ, वीडियो.
तो मैं सोने कब से तुम नहीं चिल्ला रहा था, चुप करके बैठना, वीडियो देखना है.
यो क्वेश्चंस थे.
बाकी कुछ
उसको general knowledge ही है.
The biggest failure of our life is to not asking questions.
Exactly, bro. तू क्वेश्चंस पूछता नहीं, बट तेरे में अकल है. कौन सा लगा रहा है?
Second one हो गया.
Second one.
Charlie Chaplin, adenoid hiking, Paris. The great dictator. हाँ, Charlie Chaplin, Hitler हो गया.
वर्ल्ड वॉर में
कौन से ग्रेट डिक्टेटर में
कॉज कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस.
अरे कौन से
Cold War में था.
कोल्ड वॉर बोला.
Charlie Chaplin,
नहीं,
Hitler हो गया.
World War II little bit. Yeah.
वो हाँ, ये वाला देखिए वाला.
I've seen this one.
थोड़ा टीवी अच्छा लगा.
Is that?
वो बंद करना है.
Yeah. वॉल्यूम बढ़ा था.
अच्छा.
वो भी
ये लोग वहाँ पे देख ही रहे कि ब्लॉग का
देखो सब देखो शुक्रम तो जिसने वो लाइट को देखा था वो सब अंधे हो गए थे बता रहा हूँ
फिर अंधे हो गए
देखो कैसे मालूम
किसी ने बताया
But Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the factor
चुप
is
रहना
more stronger than
देख ले फिर पूछना
That was a plutonium bomb.
हाँ.
This is uranium.
What does it mean? What does it mean? और
तूने बोला ना the man came running with
These are
it
more.
melting down.
हाँ वो एक और में था वो मुझे ढूंढना पड़ेगा अब मेरे को उतना ही याद है कीवर्ड्स ना क्या बोलूं
पुन्हा ऊपर जा
scenes.
क्या
नीचे 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 हाँ वो
ये
नीचे नीचे ये बाहर जाके क्योंकि ऑलरेडी
हाँ मेक सेंस एक और है वो शायद अच्छा होगा आई थिंक वही था हाँ मैं वो 50 मिनट्स का कुछ शॉर्ट कर
John F. Kennedy. And during this war, John F. Kennedy was assassinated, right?
And what was black rain?
It was radioactive rain
It was
caused
the
by
radiation.
the explosion में जितना ash वगैरह उड़ा ना
हाँ
वो सब precipitation
अच्छा,
के form में वापस आया
अच्छा
And
ऐसा
the rain in their body and their mouth is external.
Now, why was he assassinated?
अच्छा
Watergate. Some
नहीं।
politicians.
मैम उसमें आएगा नहीं but वो Montreal files में there's a lot about the Cold War because the KGB का ex director ना he released 25,000 pages of information related to the KGB.
You just take the Second World War.
What?
Second World War.
ये वाला Rare World War II.
Pearl Harbor incident is reversed.
That black thing, Korea was building that.
What?
The black thing.
Yes, after that. When it is 100 again. मिला उसके बाद This lasted for 30 minutes. Only 30 minutes, the whole attack.
Long 30 minutes.
भाई तब का टाइम सबसे बेस्ट
तब का time
कैसा बजा
maximum हो गया.
तुम लोग
और क्या?
तब का टाइम
Time हो गया.
2 minutes. Don't
No YouTube.
बोले तभी तक
Sit down everyone. The class is not yet over. पता है.
क्यों मेरे को पता है
This is how.
You just
कौन सा subject?
अरे सब subject
Because I can admire it today. दूसरा classes की बात है.
Alpha sir.
अरे हमें नहीं है ना
रुक जा तुम भी रुक. ये नहीं मेरे को पहले बोला नहीं था इसलिए मैंने रुका. मैं नहीं कर रहा हूँ मैं नहीं बैठ रहा हूँ. बात मैं नहीं कर रहा हूँ.
अबे 14 हो रहा है.
14 है
सुना 1 मिनट बाकी है. अच्छा मेरा बात 15 है.
इसमें क्लास है आपके साथ. मेरा फोन ऑफ है. This is not a wrong thing. Whatever part you are having doubt.
No doubt, बोलो मेरा lecture मिस हो रहा है ये सब.
So I have to explain fully.
यस मैम
कितना घंटा?
Actually कब तक है उसके साथ तो शायद रुक भी रहा.
अरे बेल लगी
ओके तो मैं यहाँ पे बैठूंगा
अरे वो पिता है using it.
सिट डाउन सॉरी
What? Where? When?
सिट डाउन राइट नाउ एक्स्ट्रा क्लास
हाँ.
रुक रहा है.
कौन मैं
मैम कर दो एंड स्ट्रीम हो गया.
अरे रुक रहा है.
ए नहीं मत कर
ये मैं नहीं रुक रहा पार्ट हमारी
मोटी सी मैं बताओ पार
अकेले बैठ.
लेट्स डू दिस क्रेजी
God be like how I am good to you
अंडा था.
क्या नहीं जानते.
नहीं.
बाय बाय
16 हो गया.
क्यों नहीं बजा रहे?
हम जान दो ना.
फोन क्यों नहीं मिल रहा?
दिल रही.
अच्छा कुछ ठीक है.
हिंदी राइट करें.
ठीक है.
अरे रुक ना.
कोई
नहीं होता
हाँ?
मराठी में नहीं करो मराठी में कम होता है बहुत
I'm not sure if I want to say.
I will say बाद में enjoy
Oh, you are also same class?
मैं जा रहा हूँ नहीं मैं अकेला नहीं बैठा
bye ma'am thank you